Welcome to the IPML After Party. Yay! How's it going, guys? Hi. With me is Radhika Maya and Anuj Radia from Filmy Shummy. You all right, people? You okay?
We're great. Even better now speaking with you, Tommy.
Oh, I know. How amazing. Like this whole weekend has just been taken over.
Well, yeah, I can see you're dressed for it as well. You've not only been taken over by the TV that we've been watching, you've been inspired, or is this just regular Sunday clothes for you? Is this how you hang out, Radhika?
You know what? It's becoming like that now because I've got all these outfits, so it's giving me a purpose to dress up Gujarati style and, rock it. Literally, otherwise, what am I going to do?
A Gujarati girl does not need a second reason to dress up, that's for sure.
No, Ratri's come early for sure, I think, Radhika. I can see that Garba vibe coming out. I love it.
The Garba's been happening in the kitchen, the bedroom, everywhere.
Well, it has. And by the way, so I just balance it out. Anuj, you look very handsome as well. Okay, there you go. We're done. We're done on the compliments. We're moving on. What a weekend, because we've had a whole weekend of IPML, Indian Pro Music League. If you watched it all over the weekend, you'll know it was on Friday night was the opening ceremony. Saturday was kind of the competition began with lots of teams kind of singing head to head, all of the teams. And then the episode we've just watched now, Sunday night, has been between Delhi and Punjab. Battling it out. But let me take you back, because we're going to try and capture every weekend. We're going to try and capture what went down over the weekend's action. But this is a bumper one because we have the extra big opening ceremony. Let's start with you and Anuj, right? You know all of these big names that we've got, and we have got so many big names on there. As an opening performance, opening weekend for this show, for this series, much anticipated. The hype is real. Everyone around the planet's talking about it. Did it live up to your expectations?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I've always said this, lockdown has been such a difficult period for a lot of us, Tommy. बहुत सारा films or series देख के हम पक गए थे. And I think to kind of see something of this scale on Indian Pro Music League, I think it's definitely lived up to my expectations. In fact, I would even say surpass it, to be very honest, because to see so many actors come together. I mean, I didn't realize actually, there's actually an interesting Ashiki 2 connection and a Stree connection, because you have Shraddha and Rajkumar, and you have Shraddha and Ankit Tiwari as well. And I was like, oh my God, this is a connection of so many sorts. And then you had like Salman dancing with Govinda to partner. I was like, okay, this is so nostalgic. So I think it was definitely very fun to watch. And my Friday night was definitely entertaining. So nice. I can't complain.
Radhika, he's not complaining. He's not complaining.
No. I think to add on to that, Anuj, isn't it nice to see people like Bobby Deol and Govinda, who we don't really see in films anymore, right? Because they're not making them. So it's so nice to be refreshed with them and their characters. And I guess it's not easy for them making a comeback like this onto a live show. So the expectations are there. It's whether or not they meet our expectations, right?
When it all kicked off, I was a bit like, what is going on? Because there were so many stars, right? So you're getting stars of Bollywood, stars of singing, new artists that we still sort of know of, but they're coming through the ranks. Then there was talk of, regular people joining. And I'm going, I don't know where to look. It's a bit like a buffet. When you're at a wedding and you're like, okay, I will start with the lamb chop. I wouldn't know. I'll go charge. I'll come back for the lamb. Wait, I was a bit lost amongst the selection of tasty dishes that I had. But let's just talk about some of those performances, because for me, when I think of that opening ceremony, that opening performances and what was going on, one person stole the show for me, really, for that whole episode, and that was Sean. I just thought he had a constant cheeky smile, like he just constantly looks like that.
Sean style.
He was just he's like a doll. He looked great. He was singing great. And Radhika, I know you must have seen a Shah Rukh Khan impression.
Oh, 100%. And I don't think I'm the only one that saw that. It was, and that's the thing about Sean, he brings the presence to the stage, and that's what this show is about. So you can have all these amazing singers, but it's whether or not they perform, they bring that sass onto the stage. This is what we as an audience, well, that's what I'm watching out for. I know they can all sing well. We listen to their tracks, right? Yeah. But it's not just about that. This show, I think, is going to bring so much more, and it's also going to challenge them because they're not used to singing live like this. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they perform and, how they work together as teams, how they compete, how they take that criticism, because there's been a bit of that in the shows as well.
Well, that we're going to come to because that was more recently. That was just now. But again, solid teams. Delhi Jammers, Gujarat Rockers, Bengal Tigers, UP Dabangs, Punjab Lions, Mumbai Warriors. They are your 6 teams. Okay, so we've got our celebrity owners, which we didn't see in episode, when the competition kind of picks up. Like typical owners, they rock up for the fancy bit, and now they're up in their VIP boxes, probably just watching from down above, like they would do at the IPL. But initially, any teams that just stand out like, whoa, they are so much stronger than the others. Anuj, which one is already kind of cutting away, if there is one?
I would say UP, very surprisingly for me. They're all, don't get me wrong, all of the artists that are on the show are एक से एक धुरंधर है. मतलब ये मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि मतलब एक से बढ़कर अच्छा है या कम नहीं, मैं ऐसा नहीं कह रहा हूँ. But I think for me, I think UP really stood out for me. Like, I think it's just because of their team and the range of singers that they have. I think for me, that is something which really struck a chord with me, and I'm just like, okay, I think I've got to be worried about my Mumbai Warriors. I think UP se bach ke rehna chahiye. I think so. I was like, okay, please, hopefully we keep living up to the standard every week. So yeah, I think that definitely UP, I think, stood out for me for sure.
You're absolutely right. And on that note, let's use UP to move on to the Saturday night show that we saw yesterday, right? That show, big show, because the reason why I'm saying about using UP for that is Salman Ali from the UP Dabangs. Oh my word, like talk about, small and mighty. I think that's India in general. A.R. Rahman, small, super powerful. Anyone who's small is just talented. They kind of just pack it all into one person. And when Salman Ali did it,
don't kill it, please.
Was that not it? Was that not?
No, it just...
गला संभाल के, Tommy, गला संभाल के. मेरा गला भी दर्द हो रहा है.
I was doing it all day. My wife was like, "Oh, do you want some food?" Yeah. It was just any opportunity. I think you gotta go for it. But he's so good, right? Salman Ali, what do you think?
No, he's definitely good, and I think the good thing about all these contestants is that we know these people. We know their songs. We know them from other contests. So it's great to see familiar faces performing. It's just how they're gonna gel together on the teams and stuff. I think that's gonna, we're gonna be watching out for that. And like I said, there's so much talent.
Yeah.
But it's about not just that singing; it's about the entertainment, right? Because we want to see more.
Yeah.
We want to see.
Well, it's now unraveling. This is it. We are now into seeing more. And the last episode that we just saw tonight was all about Delhi versus Punjab. Now we're kind of, as a show, now we're getting down to it. We've met all the teams. We've met the owners, okay? This is just like the cricket, just like how it would be in the competition. But yet we're seeing the stars being singers from all over the country. Because originally I was like, oh, are all the singers from UP going to be from UP? Are all the singers from Punjab going to be? And you're like, oh no, it's not. And it was me and my dad were actually watching it together, and he's like, yeah, but so-and-so's not Punjabi. I'm like, no, but Dad, this is like the IPL. This is like the best of the best. You're recruiting players from Australia, from South Africa. Same thing. Who's gonna knock it out of the park, right? So we've got all that now set. But the episode's really getting down to the nitty-gritty because now you're getting individual voices. What do we think when Delhi went up against Punjab? Who won in your heart?
Punjab Lions. Honestly, Punjab Lions are the Gujarat Rockers. Absolute competition. I'm not even gonna lie. Mika Singh is taking it away, and he is the share. So I don't know how this is gonna go down, but I know that Neha's not quite liking that. She's made quite a few comments about, you keep saying you're the share, but I want to see it kind of thing. And there's a lot of line marring going on, if you've noticed. But it's all about the action. Yeah. It's all about the action.
And you think Punjab are delivering on the action? Because I've got to say, there were some really good performances from Delhi. Anuj, I think you were going to big up Delhi, weren't you?
Yes, I have to say, Radhika, I love you, but I think for me, Delhi stole the show tonight, because I think I'm a fan of Neha Bhasin. Like, I'm the sort of guy that jams to her songs. Like for me, I think even the way she sang one song with Ankush today as well, I thought the way they sort of had that synergy together. And it was a very difficult song to sing. The genre that they chose is a very it's a very demanding genre, I feel. So the way they both bounced off each other, and even the way jab wo खींचती है अपनी आवाज को, when she's taking the higher notes, I'm just like, yo, this is awesome, man. Like, even like you don't even need any sort of support like musically. You can just do that just by your voice. And I think that's very powerful. And I think Neha Bhasin is a rock star and I just love her. So for me, Delhi kind of stole the show.
Definitely. But Anuj, I have to say, I don't think it was nice what Ankush did to Rupali when they were singing Rampa Jogi. And you know the way that Rupali takes the song, right? So we know how Ramta Jogi sounds. But the way she absolutely fired that song, oh my goodness. It was amazing. Her vocals at the end were just out of there. And Ankush was trying to show off, taking the last bit. He stopped like this at the end and didn't realize that's not the end of the song. Rupali took it away to the end. And oh my goodness, she knew that.
You're right. The drummers were rapping out, dun, 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 and he went, and it carried on. Dun, 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 dun. Then he went again. And like, no, it's not there either. You know what? I really, there's a couple of things I found a little bit quite entertaining. Ankush is a bit like, for me, he's a bit like Clark Kent. Do you know what I mean? Like you feel like he's gonna rip open this kind of t-shirt and have the Superman under there. Like he looks with his glasses. He's kind of like tech support, but yet there's this kind of beast in him as well. So he hit some notes that was so impressive. So you're right, really good work there from Delhi. But Punjab as well, bringing out Rupali. Oh my, like her vocals are yeah, right. Look at your
Tommy, when she came in with so much sass. She was like Maya, like literally, she owned that stage.
She's living up to the name of Indian Shakira, isn't she?
Yeah, definitely.
And but she's also she also had that moment. You're right. You were just touching it earlier on when Ankush started sort of going, yeah, come on, cry, everyone, make some noise, put your hands in the air, right? He was doing a bit of that over the background and like kind of G'ing everybody up, and it threw her from her little spoken word bit, which she addressed later on. I don't think he was trying to put her off though. I think he was just kind of getting it going, but didn't realize it messed it. It's a bit like actually talking about cricket. You know when the wicket keeper's putting off the batsman and just kind of whispering to them in their ear and just trying to mess with their head and kind of mess with. I think it might have been a bit of that going on, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of love between them, and that's the thing. It's been all loving so far, but then I saw that little moment of competition when Neha was making her digs as well.
Rupali, did you see that? And Rupali was really taken aback. She was like, but why didn't you like my performance? But I think this is good though. This is what we need. We want to see the other teams that don't think that their performance is good. And I think us as people at home watching, we're probably sitting there, I don't think her performance was up to scratch. Yeah. Neha did that exactly. And I think honesty is needed.
No, you're absolutely right. But seriously, great songs all round. Anuj, sorry, do you want to add something in?
Yeah, I was going to say actually, and I also think as well, just to add on with what Radhika said as well, because at the end of the day, it is a reality show. We're not just there to see the talent, we're also there to see the human side to the artist, because at the end of the day, believe it or not, they are human beings, right? So I think it is very important to kind of see that journey. And I do think the drama is gonna intensify. Maybe it's because I love a lot of like drama and dishum. So I don't know, maybe because I'm just sort of yearning to see a bit of that. So I do think the Dangal is gonna definitely get a lot more aggressive as time comes, but in a good way, not in a bad way. So
right, we'll bring it on. The drama's only just begun. It's on Saturday and Sunday night at 7 p.m. on Zee TV. We're of course talking about the Indian Pro Music League. This is the after party, and this is our first party complete. You haven't got to go home, but you got to get out of here. So I'll see you guys later on. Thank you so much, Anuj. Cheers, Radhika.